Stephen Moore joins me now. I want to know what you're expecting in Thursday's inflation report, Stephen.
Well, Stuart, good to be with you. Look, I do think that the inflation rate is coming down. If you look at, for example, what I like to examine is the commodities index. What's happening with the price of everything from wheat to rice to sugar to lumber and of course, oil and gas and coal. Those numbers have come down and they've been pretty steady now for the last 3 months or so. And that's a good lead indicator of where overall inflation is going. So my kind of forecast is we'll see inflation at about 5%, which is down from 9% this summer. So that's a good advance. But as Shane was just saying, there's a long way to go from 5% to the 2% target, Stuart, and it gets tougher and tougher to bring that inflation rate down to where it should be. So I think the Fed has to be ever vigilant to keep an eye on that 2% target and not deviate from it. And let's just rip the Band-Aid off and get it down to 2% as quickly as possible. The other issue, of course, is wages. You know, we did get a good jobs report, Stuart, but wages grew for the year of 2022, and I believe the number is 4.6%. Inflation was 7.1%. So do the math there, Stuart. That's a 2.5% gap, a 2.5% reduction in living standards for average Americans.
All right, Stephen, I've got this fascinating report or an article in Axios suggesting that President Biden is pivoting to the political middle ahead of 2024. He visited the border this weekend. He met publicly with Mitch McConnell on infrastructure. What do you think? Do you really think that this president is moving to the political middle, Stephen?
I think he's incapable of that. I mean, he is governed from the far, far left. The only movement that I've seen is, you know, when you have people like Mitch McConnell meeting with at a celebration with the president, you know, trumpeting these big spending bills. What that says to me, Stuart, is that the Republicans are moving more to the left rather than that Biden is moving to the middle. Job number one has to be Republicans have got to get this budget under control. That's going to be a budget. That's going to be a stare down, a showdown coming sometime this summer. And, you know, if it takes, a stare down on the debt ceiling, I think that's coming, by the way. I think there is going to be a come to Jesus moment where Republicans are sitting across the table from Biden saying, we're not yielding on this. We need spending reforms. We can't go. You know what the latest forecast for the deficit is in 2023, Stuart?
Tell me.
$1.5 trillion. $1.5 trillion.
Oh, my goodness me. That's extraordinary. And that's when we're not even in a full-blown recession at all. It's extraordinary.
And the president's running around saying what a champion he is of fiscal conservatism. He's running one of the largest deficits in the history of the country.
And the economy is slowing down, and we're going to raise taxes on business. It makes no sense at all. But there you go. Stephen?
Well put.
All good stuff. See you later.